cannot be only defined by men. They also came and talked about the issue of plastic surgery, saying that beauty pageants are going to lead to people to make plastic surgery. Beauty pageants are just a competition. They do not put a gun on someone's head and say that, oh, and do plastic surgery. Plastic surgery is by choice. And it is not everyone who is on beauty pageants who has got plastic surgery. Let us look at an example of the late Michael Jackson. He was in no beauty pageants, but he did plastic surgery. So let us not say plastic surgery is mainly caused by beauty pageants, because that would be a big fat lie. They came and made people in beauty pageants look like the people are ignorant of their situation. They told us that beauty pageants make losers feel ugly. Losers who are made to feel ugly in beauty pageants have got emotional issues and they need a character reform. Because as the name states, beauty pageant is a beauty competition. There has to be a winner and a loser. So beauty pageants are not people who are inconsiderate or who do not even know their condition. They're not ignorant of their condition. They know they're in a competition and they know that there's a possibility that they lose. They came and told us that beauty pageants objectify women because the paparazzi follows women around. But that is the package that comes with the job. Like any other career, there is a package, and if the package is that the paparazzi follows you around, you understand what is going to happen when you join that job. After all, it's not like women are forced to join beauty pageants, it's their choice. So they should accept the career and accept the package which comes with the career. They came and mystified women and said a woman is any female. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a green line. Women are grown-up females. We cannot be saying a 2-year-old baby whose female is a woman. They're not a woman, they're a child. We cannot be saying a 5-year-old baby just because they're a female, then they're a woman. They mystify women. That is the problem in this debate, the misdefinition of women to begin with. And they also came and told us that children are the source of income. That is now out of this debate because we're not talking about children. We're talking about grown-up women who know their choices and who know that choices have got consequences and are willing to face the consequences of their choices. They came and said that we're abusing women as sex objects. And now I'm beginning to question their sanity, because now they confusing prostitution with beauty pageants. Beauty pageants do not make women sexual objects. They actually present the beauty of women in front of a stage. Then people judge who is beautiful and who is not. So we do not see what the sexual objectification is there in the competition. They say the competition starts with the word rip off, get naked and get on stage. But that's a blue line. We've got beauty pageants on people who will be actually dressed and they'll be advertising clothes. We've got beauty pageants on formal wear. So they shouldn't center this only on swimwear, which requires nakedness. And after all, it's not all. It is not by choice that with the women's swimwear is more exposed than the males. So if they're not willing to accept their career, then they should choose other careers, because no one forced them to get into the beauty pageant. Then they say that beauty pageants do not ask about the intelligence. Why should they be asking about the intelligence? The name states it's a beauty pageant, not an intelligence pageant. So they've got a misconception of this whole debate. Now, moving on to my team's case, in this debate, our stand is objectification is my choice. I choose to be objectified by a situation. Anything can objectify me right now. It can be objectifying that now people are not watching me. I'm speaking, others are busy moving, others are busy moving in. So we cannot really center objectification on the definition of women, because we know that women are emotional. So we cannot really center this debate on objectification by women who claim that they were objectified, because the same thing that objectified them, it objectified you, that someone else wanted didn't objectify them, it emancipated them, and made them feel good. So objectification is my choice. In this debate, I'm going to look at beauty pageants from two different perspectives. Perspective number one, beauty pageants as a way of emancipating women. And perspective number two, beauty pageants as a career. And I'm going to make a common example of Tyra Banks, America's next top model, who runs America's next top model, who rose from a beauty pageant to a millionaire that she is today. Then they come and tell us that beauty pageants objectify women. How was Tyra Banks objectified? By being a millionaire through beauty pageants. Beauty pageants are actually a way of emancipating women, because women who actually are not intelligent, instead of falling into sectors like the prostitution sector, or being useless, or being houseless, can go into beauty pageants and actually make a living out of that. And statistics have shown that 68% of unlearned but beautiful women end up joining prostitution industry or pornography industry in order to make a living. So the only industry that is in competition with this bad industry is the beauty pageant industry. We cannot do away with beauty pageants because they are the ones that are challenging these industries, such as the prostitution industry, and they're actually making a better way for women not to be victimized. And I'm going to look at beauty pageants as a career, like any other career. Other normal career, beauty pageants demand that women look beautiful and earn from it afterwards. So women who join beauty pageants have to understand that this is a career, and like any other career, it has got demands. So if they feel that it demands them to do plastic surgery, then they should accept it, because it is a career. They do not expect to only stand and look beautiful and earn from just standing and looking beautiful. If it demands that you have to work your socks off and get slimmer, get skin lightening creams and get lighter, then that's the package that comes with the career. Because if lawyers have got packages, women in law can start complaining and saying that I'm reading reading tons of books that is training my mind. It's a mental objectification. But they're not doing that because they're accepting that this is the career and this is what I'm supposed to do. Women in medicine cannot be saying, yeah, the doses are not becoming too heavy for me. I'm carrying too much medicine. Because that is the packet that comes with the career. So if someone doesn't understand the job or doesn't understand what the career requires them to do, they should not do it. After all, no one got them a special invitation letter to join beauty pageants. So if Children is still standing with that beauty pageants, I want to objectify women, they do not know what their risk would be because this case lies underwater. With this, I'm so proud to propose. Thank you.
They mentioned beauty pageants being a matter of choice. But we also have to understand the fact that choices are driven by the hand which life has dealt us. So if a person is to be driven to make a choice whether or not to enter a beauty pageant because of the circumstances they face at home, they have still made the choice. But what has driven them to make that particular choice is not that they are well privileged, but it's the inadequacy for them to provide for themselves. Even if we were to allude that beauty pageants are a matter of choice, objectification is still objectification. Even if a person chooses to objectify themselves, it's still objectification. Whether a person points a gun at you and kills you, or whether you point it at yourself, you are still going to be dead at the end of the day. So whether or not a person is being driven by parents to strut in that beauty pageant, or they've taken the opportunity to decide for themselves, the choice by chance, or by parents, or other factors, it's still objectification. So we have to draw a line and understand that whether or not we have done it by means of wanting to show off ourselves, or rather it's the only choice we have due to the circumstances we face, it's still objectification. Therefore, beauty pageants are a way of objectifying women. She mentioned the fact that, trying to crush our point on the fact of you can choose whether or not to answer a question. The reason why most people enter the beauty pageant is to win. So if you do not answer that particular question, then definitely you're going to lose. So whether or not you choose to invade your own privacy or other people invade it for you, it's still invasion of privacy. And this particular element of invasion of privacy is what we are calling and mentioned to be objectification of women. A person has the right to deter themselves from other people knowing who they are if they've made that particular choice. So it's a matter of choices. But if it's objectification, accept it.
You say beauty pageants are a matter of choice, which is influenced by circumstances. But the circumstances do not specify the choice. You can choose to be a nurse.
Well, but if you have chosen to enter that particular beauty pageant, you have chosen to objectify yourself, whether or not you want it. So moving on, alluding to the fact that, as I was saying, if a person chooses not to answer that particular question, it's definitely they are going to lose. So, if they lose, what then have they been objectified for? Even if they win, but objectification has come to them, it's your objectification. And this is the same hand people are dealt with in beauty pageants. I think the affirmative delegation has to understand the difference between a beauty pageant and a modeling contest. Modeling contests are whereby people show off the clothes which they or other fashion designers have made. People can walk down in clothes, it's still a modeling show. But when it comes to a beauty pageant, there are major factors that have to be alluded to. And firstly, like my second speaker has mentioned, the first activity in that particular beauty pageant is the swimwear contest. So then we ask and say, the first cut is always the deepest. So then if we start by swimwear contest, are we then judging anything else apart from how a person looks up on stage with a smile and nothing else? The question still remains, if a person is only to be judged by how they look on their physical appearance and nothing else, aren't you objectifying them? Aren't you exposing to such particular scrutiny so as not to consider the feelings of that particular person, to decrease a person, a personal human being, to just but an object? An analogy was produced by my second speaker, and I shall further elaborate on it. Mostly, as I have said, the choice has been taken to people to partake in these particular beauty pageants because they want money, due to the fact of the hand that has been dealt to them by life. One of these major reasons being scholarships. If a person has to add a scholarship, not because of how they think, but how best they can look with a smile and nothing else, isn't this what we refer to as objectification? We have alluded to the fact of a dog. The best way you can ever train a dog is by telling it to do something and give it a treat as soon as it gets that particular activity right. So, where do we draw the line between right and wrong? How then are these beauty pageants judged when the first cart is always the deepest? And this is where we come into the element of swimwear contest. Are we then judging out anything else in that beauty pageant apart from how people look? Do we even then go on to consider their intelligence, which is one of the major elements of this particular beauty accepted?
Why do you say beauty pages are supposed to be about intelligence when there are beauty pages specifically about beauty?
Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. So as I define beauty to be how a person thinks in a beautiful manner to help the community they live around in. So well, in the recent beauty pageants, there's been an allusion to beauty with a purpose. This is where we look at how people can interact and help their beauty to help the community which they live in. It's not beauty pageants, no longer comes down to how a person looks, but how best they can use their looks and brains to help the people which are around them. So, if we're scrutinizing the beauty pageants just being around one area, are we then saying that this is not objectification? When we're looking at only one particular area out of the whole categories which beauty pageants are supposed to be held under. They talked about Tyra Banks as an example, but what we have to understand is the fact that Tyra Banks is a model and has never participated in a beauty pageant. She has taken to hold her own fashion line, and even she holds even a modeling contest to produce America's Next Top Model, and she actually has been asked to be a lecturer at one of the universities in the United States to teach marketing. Because what she does is teach people how to market clothes and not themselves as people. They mentioned also the fact that beauty pageants have produced better means of victimization. But we also have to understand that better or not better, it's still victimization. And this particular victimization is what we're referring to as objectification of women. They say beauty pageants are a way of better victimizing women other than prostitution. So they are understanding that and are agreeing with us that it's still victimization, whether prostitution or beauty pageants. It's still victimization, but one carries more weight in victimizing women than the other. It seems now like our argument has been basing on swimwear only. But I have to make it clear, like I've said, the first cut is always the deepest. So if we start with that particular event, then we are making it the core resonance of how that particular beauty pageant is supposed to be judged. So if we judge a person on physical appearance and we refer to every person as beautiful in their own way, who are we to call them ugly as they do in beauty pageants? With this, I rest my case.
Thank you very much. All protocol is indeed observed. Motion and Henry's, this house believes that beauty pageants are a way to objectify women. And our stand as Team Non-Affirmative states that objectification is by choice. Beauty pageants emancipate women instead of objectifying them. Now allow me to move on to my rebuttal. Team Affirmative came here and kept on and on and on singing to us about the nakedness of the beauty pageants, as if the competition is about nakedness, rather it is about beauty, not nakedness. And they also came to us and told us that beauty pageants end up in that competition because of circumstances. They are influenced by circumstances. Circumstances influence you to do something, they don't tell you what to do. So you choose what to do. If they chose beauty pageants, they show that they are fit enough to be in that competition. So they can not tell us that circumstances told the beauty pageants to go into that competition, hence they felt the competition. So at the end of the day, objectification is by choice, and for you to be in a beauty pageant, you choose for yourself. So we won't name anyone, and they also misdefined women as children. This is where they got wrong, because they based most of their points on children, having their parents making most of their decisions, which at the end of the day, cancel out this point, because we have already stated that women are grown-up female, not any other female, and they should get that right. They also said that the first part of swimming is the swimming costume project. Those are the proceedings of the competition. If you want to be in a beauty pageant, you have to research and know what package goes with the beauty pageant. If you feel that that's too much, fine, let it be. Let those who are able to cope with the pressure do it. No one forced you to go and wear your swimming costume and do the beauty pageant. If you feel like you are not able to be a beauty pageant, you can let it go and do something that you feel you are able to do. So at the end of the day, they're telling us that beauty pageant, do what in swimming costume doesn't make any sense, because to us, people choose what they want to do, and they know the circumstances, they know the consequences of their choices. They also said that people earn scholarships due to beauty pageants without considering intelligence, which is very good, because some people who are not intelligent cannot get that opportunity to be given scholarships. But because of beauty pageants, some people are able to get scholarships even if they are not intelligent. And by the way, this is not an intelligence competition. There are schools there where intelligence
Point of information. I believe I mentioned the fact of beauty with the contest, which is a core correspondent of the particular event of the beauty contest itself. So you have to be intelligent, at least to allow to help that particular event, so you can help the community around you. So your intelligence has to be judged in that particular beauty contest.
Yes, so that's why I said that you have to know the requirements of your job. If you know that your intelligence is good enough to make you switch into that competition, you're going to get in. But if your intelligence doesn't allow you to get into that competition, you are not able to get in. So at the end of the day, it's a matter of meeting up with the demands of your job. Just as engineering, you just have to be able you just have to be good in your maths and physics, then you get in, then you are able to go in. So same applies to beauty pageants. You have to meet up with the demands of that particular job. And they also told us that you win by answering a question. If you don't answer, you are bound to lose. So, like I am still saying, any job has got requirements. If you feel that you are able to answer the questions that are there, fine, go and answer them. And anyways, a beauty pageant is a competition. Beauty pageant, yes, it's a competition. So in a competition, there are losers and there are winners. So at the end of the day, we are not going to be having competitions, because we'll be saying that if one person loses, and the other wins, someone is being objectified or someone is being discriminated. Winning is about meeting with the demands of the competition. So if you meet with the demands of the competition, you're definitely going to win. But if you don't meet with the demands of the competition, you are definitely going to lose. So at the end of the day, it's a matter of meeting up with the demands of the competition. And they also kept on telling us that parents choose for their children, which I've already clarified that this motion means that this house believes that beauty pageants are a way to objectify women and not children. And we have specified that women are grown-up females, not any other females. So women make up their own choices. They don't have their parents making their choices, because women have got freedom.
Okay, ma'am. The Oxford Dictionary mentions that a woman is a female human in general, so the aspect of age is not considered.
Actually, in this debate, we are talking about women, and so we have set the parameters as women being the grown-up females. Yes, they also told us that women are used as sexual objects. Beauty pageants are not a sexual competition. Beauty pageants are a beauty competition. So there is no way that sex is involved in this competition. Sex is not a part of this competition in any way. This is about beauty and not sexual harassment or sexual whatever they may call it. So this point of theirs is not relevant in this debate. They also told us that beauty pageants lead to anorexia nervosa and bulimia nervosa. Beauty pageants do their dieting under dietitians. People who are well versed with this knowledge of diet. So, if anyone wishes to get into this competition and don't have enough knowledge of this dieting issue, they will not be able to succeed. But if they want to get into that competition, they have to be well versed with the knowledge. They have to be well versed with the requirements of the competition. So people who stop themselves because they want to get into the beauty pageant. That's not the problem of the beauty pageant. That's the problem of the ignorant person who is stopping themselves because they want to be like other people. They want to be like other people. Anyways, people are not the same. There are people who are beautiful. There are people who have got other talents. So those who are beautiful are given an opportunity to showcase what they actually have. They also told us that ranking of beautiful women and saying that this person is ugly actually discourages women and shows their evidence. But at the end of the day, we have already admitted that in a competition, there are winners and losers. Actually, they should be grateful that they managed to get into that beauty pageant because this shows that they've got the qualities, but the competition was just too stiff for them. They were unfortunate because there were people who were better than them in that competition, and as a result, they had to lose the competition. Now, allow me to move on to my positive matter. We are saying that beauty pageants emancipate women instead of objectifying them. Because at the end of the day, we are saying that beauty pageants gives women a platform to showcase their talent, even if they don't have that intelligence, that will need them to go into being lawyers, engineers, and other careers that are demanding. They'll go to beauty pageants, and beauty pageants compete with pornography. The parents would rather see their children modeling on stage. They would rather see their children in beauty pageants rather than seeing them in pornography. And I believe all of us will be able to see our loved ones on beauty pageants rather than seeing them in pornography. So at the end of the day, beauty pageants emancipate women instead of objectifying them with this kind of
Ladies and gentlemen, we feel like the question of this debate was, are beauty pageants objectifying? And this is what Team Affirmative came here and told us. They came here and said that objectification is actually through nakedness in swimming. And what we came here and said was, what about those people that actually have a career in things like swimming, who actually do it as a career on a daily basis? So we say that they're objectified by their job. Actually not, because they actually chose to jump into that pool in those swimming costumes, meaning they're actually comfortable with it. Going to show that if one is actually going to stand on stage and model in those particular swim outfits, going to show that they're actually okay with it and they actually are not objectified by it. And then they also came here and talked about children in the beauty pageant. And we actually clarified that point because they also again came here and gave us an Oxford definition by saying by giving us the definition of women. But actually, we don't use an Oxford dictionary because it's not the only dictionary that actually exists. We use the Macmillan dictionary. And our Macmillan dictionary clearly stated that a woman is a grown-up female. So we're going to show that their definition is not really reliable because they use an Oxford. And just because they use it doesn't mean that we also use it because there are many dictionaries out there. And then they also came here and talked about the invasion of privacy. And what we said as non-affirmative is that your privacy is not invaded if you choose to actually give it to us. Because if you have to actually stand on stage and point out on us and tell us exactly things about yourself and actually stand on stage and publicize yourself, clearly goes to show that you're not privatizing anything and you want to actually publicize everything. Going to show that it's no longer so private as they kept on saying. And then they also came here again and said that people may lose if they choose not to answer an interview questions. And what we came here to say is that a competition is not in the interview. So that point on the interviewing part is out of this debate and is actually a lie. Because the competition itself is about beauty. As it is stated, it is a beauty pageant. It is about the beauty, not about the interviews or the answering questions aspect of things. And then they came here once again and talked about the anorexia, the bulimias, and how people actually forced at the end of the day to put these skin lightening creams. And we clarified that point, but sadly they kept on coming to reinforce it by saying that it's one's choice. If you choose to actually starve yourself and become thin, choose to actually take the wrong diet, and at the end of the day leading you to have those things, those anorexias and those bulimias, at the end of the day, it's all your choice. Because you know the repercussions of your actions. You knew exactly what you were doing when you chose to not take that food. You knew exactly what you were doing when you chose not to take that water or the fruits and the vegetables. Going to show that at the end of the day, it goes back to our argument, which is back to our basic argument, which is that it is not a right, it is one's choice to do what they want to do. If they choose to become king, then it's their choice, because no one ever forced them to actually become king to begin with. And then they came in here and said that beauty pageants are objectifying to losers. Ladies and gentlemen, if beauty pageants are objectifying to losers, I was saying that the losers of this debate are going to be objectified. I was saying that even if you're talking to go and play soccer and you lose, you're going to be objectified. Going to show that in this basis, actually, this argument lies underwater because no one is objectified under losing. In a simple competition, there's always going to be a winner and a loser, and that's general logic. And going to show that either way, there is bound to be a winner and bound to be